Hi guys! If you want to know how I live a greener lifestyle with the financial resources available to me, keep watching. Alright, so now if you saw my last video on why I'm not zero waste, then you might kind of have a little bit of a clue about what I might talk about in this video. Now, when it comes to green living, a lot of the products that are actually green, unless you know how to shop on AliExpress, which I'll link to my AliExpress video above, but unless you know where to look, a lot of green living products are really, really expensive. So if you're low income, you might think you're stuck using a whole bunch of plastic and generating a whole bunch of garbage, and having all kinds of toxic products in your home. But the reality is that's not actually true. Unfortunately, now there are people I know who won't say anything directly because they know I don't mean any harm, but I know they're thinking it around shopping at certain places. Like, I will absolutely advocate for low-income individuals to shop on Amazon, knowing full well they dodge their taxes and they don't necessarily pay their employees properly, etc., etc. The reason why I'll point people to some of these options like Walmart and Amazon, etc., I don't know of any problems with AliExpress, but that's because it's a conglomerate of a whole bunch of retailers like Amazon, but without the Amazon type warehouses. The individual retailers are shipping, so I don't know. AliExpress doesn't have any direct issues that I'm aware of, so you don't have to worry about that. An individual retailer could, but how the hell are you going to know? So just save your money. Buy what you need to buy and whatever, not stress about it. But there are known issues around Walmart and Amazon, etc., etc. However, when you're low income, you have to reach the tools that are within your range. What can you actually reach? My hair is driving me nuts. But yeah, so I will shop on Amazon, and I don't... No, that makes my face look funny. It'll do. I'm just gonna have to put up with it. And I'll point others to it as well, because you can leverage these things as tools so that you get to the point where you don't necessarily need them. But there's no point in trying to boycott them if it's the only thing you can reach that would leverage you out of a situation that requires you to use them, or it requires you to use them as frequently. For example, like with Amazon, you don't have to have a credit card to shop on there. You just need to load your account with gift cards that you can buy physically and load it up onto your account, and you can just have it on file. It can also help with budgeting, etc. Now, things tend to be more expensive on Amazon than what you might get for some of the products on AliExpress, but there's a whole bunch of things like toothpastes and etc. that you can't get on AliExpress, or maybe shouldn't, question mark. But, so, do I like shopping at these places, knowing there's a conflict of interest with my values? No, but I also know what's within reach to me. For example, my kid, as far as I know, is transgender, and she's quite tall for her age. Like, she would be tall regardless of her gender, which means I have to buy her clothes at least twice a year. Now, Once Upon a Child, as far as I'm aware, does not have any issues around LGBTQ or anything like that. But at her current size, she's 7 and wearing a size 9-10. So when I say she's tall, I mean she's tall. In order to buy jeans at the locations here, They would cost, they average about $10 to $15. I can't buy her jeans at that price point. It's out of my range. But I can go to Salvation Army, who actively lobbies against these groups, and get her jeans for $5 to $6. So it's starting to creep up a bit as she gets a bit older, but then you just wait for the Friday sales when they need to clear out stock. Do I like knowing that I have to shop at a place like that? No. But unfortunately, the main Value Village locations that I can shop at have terrible selection for her. They've got great baby sections. They've got great teen sections, but not so much at her current range. I keep looking, hoping I don't have to buy at Salvation Army. On the rare occasion that I find something, it's priced like it's brand new, and I'm not doing that. If I could buy it at those prices, I would just buy it new and then gift it when she's done. Now, when she's done with her clothes, if they're in good condition, they get gifted anyway, so they continue on. But you get my point. You have to work with what's in your budget to make a smart purchase in order to hopefully work yourself out of a situation that requires you to use these tools. You can be unhappy about it, but you don't have to feel guilty about it. So use the tools that are within reach to do the best that you can through the learning process. I really hope AliExpress starts to implement some sort of either integration with PayPal or gift cards that you can buy, so you can ask a friend to buy a whole bunch of them. You hand them the cash or whatever for people who don't have credit cards, or maybe they'll take prepaid. I don't know, I've never tried. That way, like household goods, you can sort of leverage it, but don't be afraid of learning how to leverage dollar stores if that's what's available to you. Always look for the most durable item that you can, so you don't have to make the purchases as frequently. Wherever possible, you make, say, a larger bulk purchase. For example, you spend $10 on a big ass, what was it? 12 liters of dish soap. It was $10 at Superstore, rather than spending the same $10 on 10, actually it was going to be 8 bottles of individual bottles. And I did the math on how much liquid soap was in the 8 bottles versus the huge 12-liter thing, and it was way more expensive to buy individual bottles than it was the big $10 jug. And nothing says you have to leave that big $10 jug on your counter, because it has a pour spout. It was a Palmolive one. You can always just take that single bottle you purchased last time, fill it up, and just keep the little bottle on your counter or next to the sink or whatever. But you get my point. You learn to make... You build the space into your budget to make those larger purchases, and by leveraging the tools that you can actually reach, right? It's just changing up your buying habits and removing guilt. Removing guilt is a key component to changing how you make your decisions. Because the more guilty you feel, obviously the worse you feel about yourself as a person, and that elevates your stress. And there's a lot of research showing that the higher your stress level, the worse your decision making. Which means you can't even make ethical choices in the first place, never mind how much money is in your pockets. So, eliminate guilt. You do the best that you can with what you have available. And that is what I aim to do. That's my thinking on that. Do with it what you will. And if you found this useful, share it across your social networks, subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, see you.